We want to start this inaugural session of our Beyond the Split, that's the new name of our podcast, by welcoming the owner and CEO and grand real estate agent, Darren Johnson. He's the owner of HomeSmart Advantage Group here in Tucson, Arizona, and in Washington. And how long have you been doing the real estate brokerage ownership thing?
We started in 2017, the end of 2016, actually.
So almost a decade.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I didn't
You
think
say
about
it like that. It sounds like a long time.
We're almost 10 years, yeah.
You look fresh, though, may I add, sir. And now you have your boy Luke.
Yeah.
He's, just by disclosure, he's also our VP here at HomeSmart Advantage Group, and he takes care of our technology stuff. He's also our engineer here for our podcast. Welcome, Luke.
Thank you.
And, interestingly, we just came up with a name for our podcast, as I was saying before, Beyond the Split. And why would we call it a name like Beyond the Split? What would come to mind regarding real estate? What do you think?
Well, Beyond the Split, at HomeSmart, we're 100%, right? So there is no split, but beyond, which everyone else, for the most part, has a split, beyond, we're more than just 100% commission.
Yeah.
We're 100% service.
Yeah.
And so we go way beyond the split.
Yeah.
To as deep as you want to get, because we're not just here to, we're here to help people make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But we're here to help them in their business, to grow their business. And there's so much more than just the split or just the 100%. There's so much more to what we do
than our commission break, even though our commission break is probably the most advantageous that there is out there in the current real estate market for larger groups or even medium-sized groups. I mean, aside from the guy that owns his own real estate company that's doing onesies, twosies, we're pretty good. I think so as well. We have a little plaque in the front that says that HomeSmart is the net gainer and that HomeSmart Advantage Group and the one in Washington, what do they call it in Washington?
HomeSmart One Realty. Yeah.
So HomeSmart One Realty, HomeSmart Advantage Group has the biggest net gain last year in 2024. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the plaque. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That speaks a lot.
Agents are catching the vision, what we're doing here.
Yep.
And they like what we're doing. They like what you guys do daily. And it's stuff that goes beyond the split.
Yeah.
I mean, people are attracted to the 100%, but there's so much more that goes beyond it. And people are catching on.
That's beautiful. Well, we appreciate your coming down here to Tucson. You've had it for a year now, right? Maybe a little bit longer?
A little bit longer.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate it. We just came back. We all went to that HomeSmart convention in Phoenix rather. And, I got to go thanks to y'all. But, I know that you got to go and do a little bit more of the groups of people that were owners and what's going on in the vision of the world of real estate. And you got to listen to some heavy hitters. What stood out the most to you this year? Were there any new ideas or announcements that really captured where this brand is headed?
Well, conferences, you go and it's like a fire hose of info, right? Whether you're in the general session with everybody and there's someone up there talking and they're shooting off great ideas left and right and you're trying to write stuff down or remember them. And then we had some of the breakout sessions. Mm-hmm. So the breakout sessions would be agents. They would be, talking about things. And then as broker owners, we had our breakout sessions and we would listen to stuff going on. And I'll tell you some of the big takeaways, but I'll tell you what, the best part about those conferences, and I'm going to say, if you're in the industry, you need to go to these conferences. We'd love you to come to HomeSmart and go to the HomeSmart conference. And if you're an agent with HomeSmart, you need to go. You need to make it a priority because it's kind of like beyond the splits, beyond the sessions. Yeah. It's the having lunch. It's in the hallway. And it's those conversations that honestly are, to me, I walk away the most valuable.
Right.
So as an agent to agent, hey, what part of the country are you going to head left? I got people that want to move to, especially Arizona, right? If you live in the northern part of the United States, who does not want to move here in 9 months out of the year, right? Because it's cold and dry, gray and wet.
Right, right.
So we have people, doing referrals back and forth. When I talk to other broker owners, like, hey, what are you doing about this? What are you doing about that? And that's the cool part is in between the sessions. But I tell you, the number one thing about HomeSmart was their rebrand. There's HomeSmart celebrating 25 years this year. They started in 2000, and it's 2025. So the big thing was 2025 rebrand.
Yeah.
And I'm not wearing anything today, but I've been wearing it. The logos and what they have going on is incredible, and it's cool. It's great. I mean, it's refreshing.
Yeah, yeah.
And so the talk there was obviously the rebrand, and now that things are settled in the industry.
Yeah.
And we're on the uptick. We're not. It's not full on yet, but we're getting there. I was just talking to someone on the phone a little bit ago, and Q1 next year is going to be, especially towards the end of Q1 next year, is going to be it's going to be hot.
Oh, yeah.
Not just temperature, but I'm talking like real estate market.
Yeah.
So it's cool with the rebrand, all that stuff going, and the commitment that HomeSmart has to their agents and to grow nationally, locally, in all those areas. So
the company, the franchise itself is pretty strong, as well as our own. We're kind of a symptom of that they're getting so strong that the individual franchises are coming out much stronger as well.
Oh yeah, HomeSmart's number one in the United States for 100% commission model. 100%, they're the biggest, largest, and as franchises, we're growing with them.
And how did you notice about how are the agents interacting with the broker owners? Do you see like a greater collaboration now between the owner groups and the people that are working at the brokerages? Did you see any of that?
Oh yeah. I mean, the great thing about HomeSmart, and for most, I'm sure there's some that aren't like this, but no one lords themselves over anybody else or thinks they're better than anybody else in general, right? I mean, if you're an owner or an agent, I'm a broker owner. We manage 500 and some odd agents together. But I still sell real estate. I'm still a real estate agent.
Right.
I can't, if someone calls me and says, Darren, I've known him forever, and can you list my house? I do it.
Right. Right.
And so it's not like I'm just like, sit around. I showed I was in 3 open houses, 2 on Saturday, 1 on Sunday.
I am a witness. Yeah. I chatted with you. You were at open houses. I'm like, I feel your pain.
So brokers, agents, like there's no, we're all together. We're all,
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And now you're leading brokerages in 2 different states, in Arizona and Washington. What are the trends that you're seeing right now that you think that agents should pay attention to now definitely over the next 12 months?
So, I think that, when you're in marketing, you can we have agents that do it and they do great with it. And we have companies that do it, spend money on online portals, thousands of dollars sometimes, whatever, But there are ways you can do things without having to spend that kind of money.
Yeah.
Open houses, to me, are a hot thing. Now, I sat 3 open houses this weekend. One was dead. Mm-hmm. It had somebody came in, but it was a neighbor, right? Mm-hmm. The other was okay, and then one was really good, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like fishing. Mm-hmm. Like you go out fishing and you try to gauge the currents and you try to do that, but some days are biting, some days are not. But unless you have your pole in the water, right, you're not going to catch anything,
right?
So and so I think open houses. I think online. I think people want to know you're real. I think online videos, off the cuff type stuff. Mm-hmm. I think it's great. Emails are harder. You send out emails. So I look at every morning. I woke up this morning. I look at my emails. I've got like 42. Normally I have 38. So I had 2 or 3 different other ones. So I'm like, I wonder what those 3 other ones were. Well, 38 spam ones, right? That I normally get. Yeah. And 2 real ones. Mm-hmm. Emails aren't what they used to be, but social media is. You got to go meet them where they're at. And so, I'd say social media, open houses, and, we were just talking about the conference, going to conferences where people from other parts of the country are, and networking.
Got it. Very good. Very good. I noticed that you've made the commentary regarding people that buy leads or folks that kind of work that arena, that their goal is to try to get in front of people before we get in front of them. But if you really want to get in front of everybody ahead of everybody else, you go to where the house is open and they show up at your place and you didn't spend $18,000 to talk to that one person. You already got them for free. They just came in. So I've noticed you make that commentary before, and I think I have to agree with you on that.
Well, and and the funny thing is, the person that's spending $18,000 for that lead is that same exact person that just walked in.
Yeah,
that's not, there's not an additional one. That one, and that one person that walked in your open house probably is being. I mean, there's probably 5 people spending $18,000 on different platforms for that same name.
Yeah.
Right.
And you got to meet them and shake their hand,
for free.
Give them your card and love them up. And
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now, with so much talk about the AI and digital marketing and automation, where do you think the human touch still matters the most in our business?
That's interesting because I was just read an article on this the other day, and homeowners were complaining that the AI homes that they saw on the marketing from the real estate agent weren't a true representation of the home. And I've thought that for a long time. We've talked about Sherpas. We've talked about, going up on the mountain and all that stuff. Like, you can go and get all the hiking gear you want to get, but if you want to go climb, a big mount at Mount Everest, you're not going to do it by yourself because you probably end up dead. Because most people would, right? So I read this article, and they're saying that, they were complaining that AI, the agents were doing these things through AI, and the home didn't look like it was supposed to. They said it did. And, AI is great. I use it. And I don't even use it like I probably should. I just use it in little things. But you have to proofread it, right? Because if you don't proofread it, you could really be embarrassed if you just take it and throw it out there. So AI is it's a good tool, but I don't think people are going to be able to rely on it for real estate homeowners, because you can fake things too. AI, apparently they could take a picture of me and put me on AI, and I could be talking, and it's not really me.
Right.
And so if that can happen, certainly there's nothing I haven't found anything that's going to replace a real person showing another real person a home.
Right. I agree. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You don't know if the neighborhood smells bad or if it's behind a wash or, you don't know.
You have no idea.
Right. No, I agree with you. And now I want to touch a little bit on your past before you were in real estate. And it surprised me to learn that you worked with a tribe in Washington called the Lummi tribe. Is that correct?
Yeah, Lummi. Yeah, I mean, some of you may call it Lummi, but we call it
the Lummi. The Lummi tribe.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, I've never heard of the Lummis. That's it. And they're from Washington specifically.
Yeah. They're in Whatcom County, Washington, up close to the border by Bellingham. I was I was a coach for many years as an assistant, and they said, well, if you want to be a real coach, you need to really get your degree. So I went back, got my degree. I was a school counselor, and right towards the end of beginning of the school year, I get a call from Lummi Indian Nation, and they said, we would like you to come interview for a school counselor and head basketball coach. So I did that.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was a great experience. I got some great stories. I don't want to bore anybody with the stories, but basically I was, the first half of the year, the person that took over from the former head coach, who was a tribal member who left. And so here I am. I'm a white guy taking over for a native guy, a great guy. Me and him are great friends. But he had to leave for family reasons, and so I take over. The guys are like, we want a native guy coaching us. We don't want a white guy. And I'm like, well, I'm here. Like, this is what I'm doing. So we went the first half of the year, and we only won like 1 or 2 games. We lost a bunch in a row. And it got to Christmas time, and Christmas, there's no school. So we still have practice, right? So I had to because there's no busing, I had to go around and pick these kids up.
Uh-huh.
And it's a very poverty stricken area. And so I would try to figure out where these kids are, because
Yeah.
home is different, means something different there. And
Yeah.
so I'd try to figure out. So I'd pick them up. So we got through Christmas break barely, and we're playing all these mainly white, private schools in Seattle,
Uh-huh.
small schools. And we would walk in and people would just stare at us. And I didn't think this was real. Like, I didn't, like, but all of a sudden I'm starting looking like they're staring at us. Like, why are they staring at us? And they're like, Coach, see what we go through? And I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of getting it, right? So we get to halftime of this game. It's this small private school where they're staring at us going in. And they, one of our kids fouls a kid, and then he gets kicked out of the game.
Oh.
And so I go to the ref. I go, listen, that was a foul, yeah, but he shouldn't have got kicked out of the game. And he said something to me, and I said something I shouldn't have said.
No.
But I said under my breath, I said, well, if it had been a white kid, you wouldn't have called it that way.
Oh.
And so no one heard me, except he did.
Yeah.
Kicked me out of the game.
Oh, there we go.
So I go in the locker room at the end of the game. We lost, and all the kids they're all looking at me. Coach, you're trying to tell us not to say anything to the ref, and you're saying to the ref. And it was like 12 of my players against me, like big time. And I'm like, boy, this season's done, you know. And then all of a sudden, one of the kids in the corner goes, Coach, what did you say? And I told them what I said. And they erupted in like, yeah, he's one of us. And we went on to win every game to the end of the year. We didn't win the state championship, but we got really deep. They put a big article in the Seattle newspaper about me in that situation, and it was really cool.
Oh,
so
that's
awesome. A long story.
That's a great story.
Well, it is a great story
of all. So not to name drop, but have you met any famous coaches? Like, we have one that's a coach here. His name is Tommy Lloyd. I think he's from your part of the world. Is that true?
So I don't know Tommy Lloyd personally.
No.
But I have met him when he was at Gonzaga. I was there when he just got hired on. He was an assistant coach he had played at a small Division III school. And we were over at Gonzaga at a camp, and he had just gotten hired on. I remember that. And so I met him. Yeah, he would never remember meeting me, but I met him, and I remember the very first year he was at Gonzaga with Mark Few and those guys over there.
Oh, yeah.
They had a great team. It was a coach's clinic, is what it was. So
yeah. Hey, Mr. Producer.
Yeah.
How you feeling about the Tommy Lloyd situation here in Arizona?
Not a fan, but it's all right.
It's all right. Well, yeah, you can take the boy out of Washington, but you can't take the Washington out of the boy.
Fight. I know. The love of teams. Big downfall. All right. So now, as a multi-market broker owner, what is your vision for HomeSmart's future over the next few years? And what excites you most about where you think this company is headed?
So it was probably a couple years ago where I said, I was just trying to figure out my place in life, I guess, but more, I was thinking real estate in the business world. Like, what is my place? Like, and I felt like, you know what, at that point it was like, Darren, you need to help as many people as you can help. You need to see if you can help people be the best they can be. I was trying to figure out to get that feeling of being a coach, because, as a coach, it's great. You go onto the court, you play the game, and they have a score up there. And so if you won or you lost, and you can gauge as you go through, and then the kids graduate, you got a new team, right? So I'm like, how can I be as real estate? And then it hit me, or through some things that were revealed to me, that I can help people in this business be the best that they can be in real estate. And it doesn't necessarily mean money, but I mean, it certainly can mean money, but it means everything, a better quality of life, whatever, right? So with that said, getting to your question, the future, I mean, so when we looked at like growing our brokerage, acquiring the Tucson brokerage,
right,
that was part of like, okay, now there's a few hundred more people that I can help, right? So as we look to the growth of this, I'm excited when new agents decide that they want to come alongside of us, come with us, because I want to help. I want to help in any way that I can to make people in their journey. Of life, and in this section of life, it's real estate, right? So we're trying to grow. We're trying to attract agents that have the same type of values we have. And what are those values? We like to help people. If you like to help people, if you like to, if you like to help people, freedom's another thing that rolls with our brokerage. I think our agents here are. We give them a lot of freedom within the rules. Our paperwork is right, spot on, and all that stuff. I'm not talking that freedom, but the freedom to do the business how they want to do it. So that's how I see it. That's how I see our growth here. Is we're trying to attract agents that want to have this, that share the same values. They care about people. Obviously they care about business and everything, but they care about people. And life is more than just making money, right? It's helping people, and we're helping people with one of the biggest financial decisions they have in their lives, and that's selling their home.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. Well, listen, at least from me anyway, I want to thank you guys, the Johnson family, for coming down to Tucson and taking over a place where I've worked at for a long time, which I thought was fine before, but I got to tell you, it's gotten better. And your son, he's a gem. And your wife, she's the best out of all three of you. Just by the way,
true.
I'm sorry.
That's true.
I'm sorry to say it,
well,
but she's a rock star, and she keeps us in line. I love it. What can I say? Because the rest of us, I think, would run a little loose if we were allowed to. But hey, that's how it goes, and we appreciate it, and we look forward to having another chat with you later on next year and finding out how things are trending in our deal, and welcome. And thank you for being our first victim on this Beyond the Split.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you being a great host. You're doing this is a great thing, and I'm looking forward to watching this episode, of course, but then of course watching the mini episodes that you're going to have and hearing other people's stories, right? Because every one of us has a story, right? Every single person does, and this is cool because we're going to get beyond the split and hear people's stories. So
fabulous. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.